industries bigger than people can fathom, though, right? And looking, I looked at some government stats around this. They estimate just prior to COVID, something like $60.8 billion industry for the Australian GDP, employing pretty much about 1 million people in tourism and travel for Australia. That's a significant industry. It really is. If people don't, I mean, I know kind of people grasp it is, but we're talking when you look at the numbers of people involved as well.
Yeah.
It's massive.
And it's sad because, you know, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that at the end of COVID. I mean, 40% of flight centre shops have shut.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the industry will be half of pre-COVID figures.
Well, yeah, that's an, like I've been seeing the updates when I look at my LinkedIn feed or whatever. I'm not, to be honest, Penny, I don't know about you, but I'm not looking at the daily news and overkilling myself.
No.
Like the main bits I need, it's too much, you know. But I am keeping abreast. But what's heartbreaking is we go through stages, and it seemed there every day there's another business toppled over or several more thousand people. I mean, reel off, you've been more across this than I mean, I saw the STA one recently. I've seen more announcements from Qantas. Reel off, what's the list of kind of victims here, if you want to call it that, right? They're the ones that are hurting. Give us a real world snapshot. What some of those established businesses are really kind of falling over here?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of obvious that there's quite a few airlines. Tiger Air, you know, they've disappeared now. Virgin, well, they're coming out, thank goodness, of their situation. But Qantas, I mean, Qantas is going to be half. And then I saw, where did I see it? Somewhere. About the pilots, because the pilots have not been flying, they haven't got their hours up. So there's not going to be enough pilots when we restart because they all have to go back into training. So that's going to be a real issue for the industry and for the airline industry. But, you know, as far as agents, there's a lot of agents that are just sort of closing their door and saying, I'll work from home, I'll have maybe 1 or 2 other staff and see how I go. I mean, today I'm shutting down 2 of my retail shop fronts, relocating them into Mascot, my head office, because I can't pay the rent till December. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's the scale is really quite unfathomable. And it's a good point to say with the pilots. I was on the call with somebody yesterday. It's those logistical things that people don't necessarily realize. As soon as the lights are on and we're allowed to travel, it's not as simple as, oh, well, everything's back to normal.
Yeah, turn the ignitions back on the planes and off we go. It's not going to be that.
Yeah, no, it's far from that. Far from that simple. And now you mentioned with you, what's your state of play? Because you've got the group of companies. What's your impact? So you said there 2 of the retail bringing back in the head office. What else have you had to really be mindful of to readjust your business structure, Penny?
So I have an after hours business as well, where I outsource our after hours team to 50 other travel agents. So that's obviously scaled back because no one's traveling, so therefore there's no after hours calls coming through. Although there has been a bit, beginning of COVID, there was quite a bit because people were trying to get home. But overall, I've had to sort of cut that business in half as well, hibernate it for a little bit. Corporate, you know, we're on very skeleton staff and just trying to get through, really.
And are you finding, is there any sort of, I live in Melbourne, right? I moved here a year ago from Sydney. I'm questioning that decision right about now.
I'm sure you are.
You know, the funny thing is I was writing the book, finished writing the book when I first moved down. I wasn't on stage. Then we had bushfires straight to COVID. I've been here a little over a year and I feel like I've barely seen Melbourne, right? It's
yeah,
crazy.
I bet.
But then when I talked to my friends this week in New South Wales especially, they're actually saying that things are kind of moving again. Yeah. I mean, there's changes, but are you starting to see are you starting to hear any optimism, or what's the kind of state of confidence, optimism, the conversations that you're now finding corporate clients are having?
Yeah, look, corporates definitely say they will travel as soon as they can. We have a couple, it all depends on the industry. So we have a couple of medical, in the medical industry. So they're obviously traveling, not hugely, but a bit interstate, not intrastate, obviously. We have a couple of production companies. One of them, we're working on a TV commercial for them at the moment. So there's little bits and pieces, but we survey our clients regularly and they're all saying when they can travel, they can. We had a couple of leisure clients come through last week that wanted to do a cruise in 2021. So there's green shoots. There are green shoots.